Hello children, welcome back to the English class. What are we going to study today? In the previous two videos, you have watched two poems. So your guess is right. We are going to study a lesson today and it's a beautiful lesson. Why do you know? It's all about food, and to be precise, it is about the food that is cooked in Kashmir. So children, we have a small exercise in your book before we start the main lesson. So let's take our books. Ready? Let's get started. Flavors of Kashmir. That is the name of the chapter. And we are on page number 90. Flavors of Kashmir. Now you can see in your book and also on my screen there are going to be some food items. And what do we have to do? We have to guess what is the name of that food. Is already written here, but which is the food? And we have to identify which is the food, and we have to say where does it basically come from. So let's look at the first one. Rasagulla. There you have it on my screen. Rasagulla. Where does Rasagulla come from? Basically, it comes from West Bengal. So let us mark Rasagulla to the first sweet. Alright, the first one. There it is. Can see it on my screen. And then you match it to West Bengal. Just like you can see it there. Okay. Now the next one. Mysore Pak. Mysore Pak is from Karnataka. But you see children, the sweet which you can see here is Mysore Pak. Now you can see it on my screen as well. That is Mysore Pak. So you will match the word Mysore Pak to the third sweet, and then you will match it to the last answer on that page, Karnataka. Now let's look at the next one. Shahi Tukda. Shahi Tukda is the last sweet on the page. So the triangular shaped sweet, as you can see it. And now this Shahi Tukda actually comes from which place? Uttar Pradesh. So let us match Shahi Tukda to the triangular shaped sweet and now to Uttar Pradesh. And therefore the last one, Ghevar. Ghevar is the sweet that you can see second. That's Ghevar. And you have to match it to Rajasthan. So we've done that exercise. And now, as I told you earlier, we are going to study about Kashmir. You know children, Kashmir is known as paradise on earth. Kashmir is known as paradise on earth. It means heaven on earth because it's so beautiful. So let us read the chapter together. Kashmir is often referred to as paradise on earth because of its natural beauty. It's a very, very beautiful place. But travelers to Kashmir also know that Kashmir's cuisine is equally fascinating. Do you know children, the meaning of cuisine? It means the food that is cooked there, the food that is served there. It is very fascinating, very amazing. Read this passage to learn more about some of the dishes which are an important part of Kashmiri life. When we think of Kashmir, the image of everything beautiful in nature rises before our eyes. So it's a very fantastic place, a beautiful place. We think of the majestic snow-covered Himalayas, green valleys with pine trees, clear and cold mountain streams, gardens filled with flowers, and the Dal Lake with its houseboats and shikaras. Now children, what is a shikara? A shikara is a low wooden boat which is used for transportation. See, it's given here in your book. And you know something? You can see this man here at the bottom of your page. There. He is sitting in a shikara and he's taking a lot of colorful flowers with him. So he's going to transport it maybe in the market for sale. Going to sell those. Alright. Over hundreds of years, people of different religions and traditions have shared their culture in this land. So many different kinds of people have lived in Kashmir, and therefore there is a lot of mixed cuisine, lots of different kinds of food, a variety of food. This mixing of traditions has given Kashmir a cuisine that is full of variety and flavors. I'm sure you've come across this word flavors in your EVS book when you were studying food, and your teacher of EVS might have already told you the meaning of flavors. Yes, children? Flavors means the taste and the smell. So when you have a food which is flavored, it smells nice and it tastes nice, then it becomes a mouth-watering dish. Isn't it, children? So let's move on. The people of Kashmir love to drink tea to keep themselves warm. So you see, we heard about the majestic snow-covered mountains. So the high and mighty and beautiful snow-covered mountains are very near to Kashmir. So obviously, Kashmir is a very, very cold place. So people need to keep drinking tea. Why? To keep themselves warm. The traditional tea of Kashmir is called noon chai, salt tea, also called sheer chai, milk tea. So you see, Kashmir has got tea which is prepared with salt and not sugar. That would be tasting different, isn't it? Now, it is an important part of breakfast and supper and is usually had with various types of traditional bread. So in Kashmir there will be different kinds of bread made. And you know something? Kashmir has got plenty of bakeries, just like Kerala. Lot of bakeries at every corner. So people eat a lot of bread there. Noon chai is commonly made with green tea leaves, milk and salt. A pinch of baking soda gives the tea its unique pink color. So they also add something called baking soda, which you might find in your kitchen. They add that also in the tea to give it a different color. Which color? A pink color. Another type of tea which Kashmir is known for is called kawa. It is usually served during festivals and at weddings. It is made with saffron, spices and almonds or walnuts. So they even put dry fruits in the tea. So children, please note this word almonds. The word is A-L-M-O-N-D-S. So we will feel like saying it as almonds or almonds. But you must be careful. The right pronunciation of this word is almonds. Almonds. So we do not pronounce that L. If you travel to Kashmir, you will see bakeries at every corner. I just told you about it. These bakeries sell many kinds of bread, big as well as small. Most of them with a golden brown crust. So you know the top layer of the bread will be golden brown and nice and crunchy with either sesame or poppy seeds. So the bread will also be decorated with some seeds, either sesame seeds or poppy seeds. Sheermal and Bakkar Khani are two types of bread that are very popular. So children, what do you understand by the meaning of popular? Popular means famous, very famous. Bakkar Khani is a type of flat bread which is round and is similar to a naan. All of you have heard of naan, isn't it? We eat naan in the restaurants. So Bakkar Khani is something like that. But the difference is that Bakkar Khani is slightly sweet. It is mildly sweet. So what is the meaning of mildly? Mildly means slightly, a little sweet, and is usually eaten hot for breakfast. These sell like hot cakes at the bakeries. It means they sell like anything. People come rushing to buy this bread. The people of Kashmir love their bread. Wazwan is a huge traditional meal. So children, please underline what is Wazwan. It's a huge traditional meal. It means it's a big feast. Lots of food will be prepared there, which is organized on special occasions. In the Kashmiri language, Wazwan means cooking shop. So they will cook a lot of food and they will serve a lot of food to a lot of people. So usually this Wazwan will be observed during a wedding, at a wedding, or maybe some religious programs, some religious ceremonies. The meal consists of 36 different dishes. It is something like your Onam Sadhya, right children? During Onam, we have so many food items served on the same banana leaf. But here there's no banana leaf. Here there is a platter, a big tray on which they will serve so many different dishes. So let's read about that. The meal consists of 36 different dishes, both vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Many of these are cooked on slow fire the whole night, and then it is served to the people the next morning, which means that on a very slow fire it will be cooking the whole night. Therefore, the dish might be really tasty. Wazwan is usually organized to celebrate weddings and to feed many guests. The dishes are prepared with great care. And the main cook, please underline, the main cook called Vastevaz looks after the preparation. So they have got a head cook who takes care of the preparation and all the work done. His name is Vastevaz. Please underline that children, and let's turn the page. Wazwan is a good example of how food brings people together. So when there's a feast, so many people will all come together to eat. At a Wazwan meal, people do not eat separately, but they share food. 4 people sit around and eat out of one large platter of food. So one large tray of food will be served for 4 people. 4 people will eat out of that one tray. Before the formal meal begins, there is a traditional ritual of washing hands. So first they will wash their hands. Attendants carry a basin and carry it around so that guests can wash their hands where they sit. So a big basin, a big bowl full of water will be brought around for everyone to wash their hands so that they can wash wherever they are sitting. People talk to one another. There is laughter and enjoyment as the dishes come in one after the other. So on a large tray, food will be served one after the other. Different dishes will be coming one after the other. And so people have a grand time. So do you think they'll take less time to eat this food or more time? 36 dishes coming one after the other. Children, they'll take more time. So you see, the Vazwan lasts for a long time. The distinct flavor of Kashmir food comes from a generous use of spices such as cinnamon. Please underline these. Cinnamon, cardamom and cloves. You've come across these words earlier also in your EVS book, the same chapter, food. So cinnamon, cardamom and cloves. These are spices. And what is the meaning of a generous use? It means they use a lot of these spices and therefore their food is quite tasty as well as spicy. Alright. Kashmiris also like using mustard oil in their cooking as well as desi ghee. It means homemade ghee. Saffron is another important ingredient in Kashmiri food and adds fragrance to the dishes, whereas the famous Kashmiri red chilies add heat. I'm sure all of you have heard of Kashmiri red chili powder. Whenever your mother makes achar, you should notice that. Whenever your mom makes pickle at home, you should notice that. Your mother will be using Kashmiri red chili powder. It will give a beautiful color to that food, to that pickle. So Kashmiri red chili powder is not only famous in Kashmir, not only used in Kashmir, it is used all over India. Everyone uses it. And of course, saffron. That we don't use so much, but the Kashmiris use a lot of saffron. Two of the favorite sweet dishes of Kashmiris are shufta and modur pulao. Please mark that also, children. Shufta and modur pulao. They are sweet dishes. The first dish is made with cottage cheese or paneer. You've heard of paneer, right? All of you have heard of this word paneer. So that is cottage cheese. And lots of dry fruits. The pulao is made with rice, milk, saffron, ghee and dry fruits. So the food will be very rich. It will be having so much of spice and taste and flavor. A visit to Kashmir is not complete without tasting the rich variety of flavors of its unique cuisine. If you visit Kashmir and you don't taste the food, then it is not right. When we go to Kashmir, we must taste the food there. Okay, children? So now, we've come to the end of this chapter. The entire chapter spoke about the different kinds of food preparations in Kashmir. Now, let us take a look at reading comprehension. Do you have a sharpened pencil ready with you? So we can start. The traditional tea of Kashmir is called, what is it called, children? Noon chai or sheer chai. So you can see it on my screen and you can copy the spelling correctly from there. Noon chai or sheer chai. Now let's look at the number. Let's look at question number 2. Bakar khani is a little dash in taste. You just turn over the page and look there. What does it say? It is mildly sweet. So your answer, Bakar khani is a little sweet in taste. That's the answer, sweet in taste. And people usually eat it at the time of breakfast. Now, let's turn over to the next page. Question 3. In Kashmiri, the word Vazwan means cooking shop. The answer, cooking shop. Now, the fourth one. At a Vazwan meal, usually dash people eat out of the same platter. You all know the answer. It is 4. 4 people eat out of the same platter. Question 5. Dash is an important ingredient that adds fragrance to Kashmiri food. The answer, saffron. Look at it. That's the spelling. S-A-F-F-R-O-N. Saffron. And then number 6. The final one. Dash and Modur Palau are two traditional Kashmiri dishes. The answer, children? Shufta. S-H-U-F-T-A. Shufta and Modur Palau are two traditional Kashmiri dishes. Now let's take a look at vocabulary. So we completed fill in the blanks. Now we move to vocabulary and we are on page number 93. So you have a small little description of idioms. Now children, idioms are those phrases or lines which actually mean something else. For example, I say, this is not my cup of tea. This is not my cup of tea. Does it mean that there is a cup kept on the table and it is not mine? No, the meaning is something else. The meaning is, I don't have any interest in this topic. This is not my cup of tea. So idioms are lines which have a different meaning from what we are saying. So you have a very small exercise on page number 94. Let's take that exercise and try to understand how idioms work. So let's look at exercise A. Work in pairs. Match each idiom to its meaning. That's what we have to do. The meaning and the idiom have to be matched. And remember children, if you draw lines, your work is going to be absolutely ugly, dirty. So what shall we do? What can we do? Let us write numbers. So at the side of each answer, you will write the number of the question. So let's look at the first one. That is my bread and butter. That is my bread and butter. So answer 1 matches with option F. Basic things that are necessary for a person. That is my bread and butter. So you see, we are not talking about bread and butter. Bread and butter means basic things that are necessary for a person. Now the second one. It is not my cup of tea. I just now gave you that example. So you see, number 2 matches with option A. Not interesting enough for someone. So let's mark that. Let's write the answer. And let's move to the third one. I have a sweet tooth. It does not mean that my tooth is sweet. It means that I love sweet dishes. So option B is the right answer. 3 will match with B. Now the fourth one. She has spilled the beans. Yes, you guessed right. The answer is that she has told a secret. So she told others something that was a secret. She has spilled the beans. Number 4 will match with C. Option C. Told others something that was a secret. Now the fifth one. You want to have your finger in every pie. So the answer, get involved in too many things. So number 5 matches with E. Number 5 matches with E. And therefore we are left with only one question and one answer. Don't bite off more than you can chew. The right answer, agree to do more than one can handle. So you're taking too much of work and you cannot do it all. So don't agree to do that. Don't bite off more than what you can chew. Alright. Now children, we come to another small portion, that is grammar. And I'm sure that you have already done this chapter before. You have already studied about modals before. Modals are also known as helping verbs. Now your teacher of English will be describing this more in detail in your interaction, in your online interaction. So what we shall do is, we'll just solve this one little exercise here on page number 95. So you can see a yellow box. It's there also on my screen. And in that yellow box, you see some words given there. These are called models. So can, could, may, might. These words are for asking for permission. Can and may can also be used for giving permission. Then you've got can and could. It shows possibility or ability, something which we can do. Then you've got can, could, may, even for making a request. Then you've got may and might, not sure about something. But when you see this exercise, children, you will notice one or two words are commonly repeated. So let us solve the exercise. So let's look at it. Fill in the blanks using the correct models. They dash have lost the match. Now very easy. You have got two options. You just need to choose one of them. What is your answer? It should be could. They could have lost the match. If I say they can have, it's not even sounding right. They could have. So the answer is they could have. They could have lost the match. Now let's look at number 2. Dash we go home now? So we are asking for permission. So what shall we write? Can. Can we go home now? Now the third one. Sunita dash swim like a fish. So Sunita has the ability to swim like a fish. Therefore I should write can. Sunita can swim like a fish. The next one. Dash you convey my message to Ashish please? Here also children, the right answer is can. Can you convey my message to Ashish please? Now, number 5. My camera dash be useful for the video recording. In this case, we can write could. My camera could be useful for the video recording. And now, number 6. Veena dash speak several languages. So this is again about ability, and therefore we are going to write Veena can speak several languages. And then moving to number 7, dash we go to the new cafe. Here again, can we go to the new cafe? You have it there on my screen. You can see the right answer. And the final one. You dash come at 11 if you wish to attend the class. Now we are giving permission. Therefore we'll write may. You may come at 11 if you wish to attend the class. Is it all clear to everybody? I hope you have taken a nicely sharpened pencil and written all these answers beautifully in your book. Because this lesson is going to come for the final exam. So I hope everyone has started their preparation for the final exam. And you must write your notes neatly. Keep it ready for your teacher. When your teacher says upload the notes in Moodle, you should say, ma'am, I've already done my job. I've done it. And you can easily finish all your work on time. So thank you children. Have a great day ahead.